Welcome to Yeshua's King Ministries World News. This is when we speak outside of the purview of beliefs and we start talking about the world news that affects everybody. One thing we wanted to show was in affinity groups. You may want to know what that is. I didn't know what it was until this morning. They call them affinity groups. And whoever has these or whoever does this is probably some of the sickest people I've ever met or I've ever known that to exist. Obviously besides the drinking adrenochrome and killing kids, this is another one, but this is just simply mental torture. So thousands of schools in America have implemented a program of separating their students into affinity groups. Children are separated by race. White children are scolded and told that they're white privilege and about their white privilege and racism, and non-whites are praised and given cupcakes. This is real. Several schools in New York have implemented what they describe as a novel approach to fighting discrimination. Under the program, children as young as 6 are separated by race into 2 rooms, named affinity groups. Okay, the one room for the white students and the other for non-whites. So in the room of non-whites, the students are heaped with praise and told to feel proud of their race and given treats such as cupcakes. But for white students, they are scolded, told about their white privilege, about America's history of racism, and of course, no treats are awarded to these children. That's just that's the creation of racism. It's not to fight racism, it's to create it because there's certain groups, sick people in this world that they like the separation. It's amazing that they're able to get away with this. I don't know why. Apparently, I guess the parents don't know it's there. But you should pass this around as fast as possible because this is highly important, extremely important that this stop because when I was being raised up in those schools, I ended up in a 80% black school in high school, and I got along with them fine. Everybody got along fine. You know why? Because I was raised with them and the same people in elementary school. We all went to school together in elementary school. I went to Alaska, went to some schools there for a while and then came back and I was in the ninth grade. And believe it or not, everybody, hey, how you doing? What's going on? No issues because was raised with them and there was no issues. So I don't understand um, this obsession, absolute obsession with discrimination because I don't see it, but it is what it is. I'm not saying I'm blind to it. I watch everything and watch what's going on. And I don't want to get pulled into this fight because I just want to say here, this is people saying this and this all it comes all the way back to that same woman who started this crap in the first place. And if she can't be in jail long enough as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so you've been hearing this term racism. You've been hearing this term white privilege. This came from Robin DiAngelo. What she did was she brought this out. She had this theory, and it has caused a race war. The very thing that she said she was out to stop, she started and made it worse. And now they have pinpointed or they started going after one race, which was the white race. And most of the crap that she's spewing is completely false. Absolutely false. So and now it's just I feel it. I'm a white guy. So I feel it when I go into restaurants. If I see, like just yesterday, went into Popeyes. The place is run by Mexicans, staring at us, gave us the oldest fries you could possibly imagine. I mean, these fries must have been 5 to 6 hours old. They were hard. The biscuits, I could plaster a wall with it as far as filling a hole. It was that hard. It was harder than a cracker. And the only reason why we got fresh chicken was because they didn't have any dark meat. That's how bad it was. They'd stare at us, all this kind of thing while we were eating. So we were going to make a complaint, but what's the point? Just don't go back. So we won't be going to Popeyes anytime soon. And we used to go there quite when we like to, maybe once every 2, 3 months. Things have been slow, so we slowed down on that. But um, this is D'Angelo, Robin. This is what she did to us. Let me show you a picture of her. So when you see this woman, watch it. We've already got her convicted on this woman here. We've got her convicted on uh, human rights violations. This woman here. We got a conviction against her, and she belongs in jail. I wouldn't be surprised if this woman was CIA going out and starting race wars because they've been trying to do that. They use the Democratic Party to do it, but really it's a globalist working through the CIA to influence George Soros, guys like that. Which brings in some other stuff. Have you noticed there's been no arrests? No one has been arrested that of any influence or anything like that over the Epstein files and all that. No one. Nothing has happened for over 9 months. Although when Congress wants to move, they can move quick in 2 or 3 days. I've seen them do it. All of a sudden, it's all done and over, and there's no issues, nothing. Okay, but 9 months, nothing. All of a sudden, there was no Epstein files. Now there is an Epstein file. Now it's the Democrats trying to bring out the Epstein file hoax. Now it's this. Now it's that. Blah 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 blah. No arrests. Okay. You know what, folks? And I know this with a lot of folks. I know that was your last deal with having any hope in the United States. I know that. He was put in there. We all know who I'm talking about to get this stuff straightened out. Everybody fought for him, and then he just said, "Screw you. You're not worth it. Screw the followers." That's what he said. Those who supported me. He turned on you that fast. He's trying to get it back, but you can't do that. So what's really awesome? This is probably the most awesome news I've heard in a while, and it needed to happen. The victims came out and said, "Here, hold on one second." Um, I'm gonna share this with you guys. You got to see this. This is awesome. I love it. And I'm glad they're doing it because they're tired of it. Everyone's tired of it. We're done. Everyone's done. Okay? No one's trusting you guys anymore. Bondi, you're a freaking joke. Patel, you're a joke. Bambino, whatever the hell your name is, you're a joke. It didn't take 4 months to corrupt the crap out of you guys, you weak, pathetic people. You're weak and pathetic. You don't stand up for what's right. You do what the politicians tell you, what's politically right. So guess what? You're a bunch of socialists. And socialists are opposite of Yeshua. You got it? Socialists rely on each other rather than rely on him. You're a bunch of socialists. You're scumbags because you sat there and you're allowing these pedophiles to get away with it. That's exactly what you're doing. And you became a pedophile. I'm telling you, and I said this one, I think it was in the last sermon. Pedophiles. Okay. The United States is the biggest trafficking, United States and Israel, the biggest in trafficking children. What do you think those Gazan children went? They were sold. All of them sold. Mostly the Vatican went and did it. Which, by the way, that guy's a piece of work. I haven't even talked about Leo, whatever he wants to call himself. This guy's a woman worshiper. He worships Mary. And then he says today that the Eucharist is the way to salvation. He's the piece of crap on my shoe. Okay. That's what I believe. He's worse than Francis ever was. At least Francis was honest about what a piece of crap he was. This guy's just coming in there and doing it and not really, nobody's saying a word. So the Catholic Church was not the church. It is not the church that was put on Peter's shoulders. It never was and never will be. His true church are all those people that have testimonies of interactions with Yeshua while here on earth and what he did to change their lives. That's the true church. And not one priest will sit down and tell you a story of how Yeshua helped him. Not one. They'll sit up there with all their Latin crap, which is the fallen angel's language, and put you to sleep. The only reason why you don't go to sleep is you got to get up and down all the time. Which I think they ought to start a new knee and new hip fund from these guys. Okay, so it's a joke. The whole thing is a joke. People keep supporting those idiots and keep doing it. It's not going to get you into heaven. Trust me on that. It's not going to get into heaven. Every one of the people that have died and gone to hell, some of them have seen John Paul on blatantly on fire. Okay. He just stays there on fire. It's not a true church. And when people stop believing the lie, maybe things will improve in this world. But you're believing in the lie. And you're chasing probably pretty decent good people away from any form of relationship with Yeshua because of your corruption. That's what you're doing when you're over there messing with kids, having sex with kids and all this kind of crap. That's what you're doing. You're chasing people away from Yeshua. So that means you're doing the devil's work. That's what's happening. And everybody knows if you're messing with kids, everybody knows where you're going. And then you'll have, I think Francis came out, oh, they're victims. Well, how are they victims? They suffer with this disease of wanting sex with children. Well, we can put them out of their misery. Not a problem. So crazy. All right, here, let me see if I get it. Okay, I got the sound here. Yeah, listen to this, guys.
Let me announce now. Several of us Epstein survivors have been discussing creating our own list of names. We know the names. Many of us were abused by them. Now, together as survivors, we will confidentially compile the names we all know were regularly in the Epstein world. And it will be done by survivors and for survivors. No one else is involved. Stay tuned for more details on that. Because history is watching, and so are the women who will come after us. Thank you.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Okay. Now they're coming forward. So that gets that guy in the White House, that gets him out of the way. He's protecting the billionaires. And they've already released one billionaire name. Let me go find it. Okay, this is the first one that's come out. I think some guy named Massey or something, some senator released this name as one of the he's America's hedge fund manager. Ah, Trump, you couldn't hide this one. Ha ha. This is going to come out, folks. It's going to happen. And this dude was in Epstein. And nobody knew about him. I have never heard of this guy in my life, but here he is. Trump mega donor, John Paulson. Seen why he's being quiet? Mega donor. Okay, Trump mega donor. Right over here on your right. John Paulson warns against decoupling from China. Hedge fund billionaires consider possible pick for Treasury Secretary. Who knew that this guy was there? Yeah, he's a pedophile. He raped kids. That's one of the first names that have come up. Now you understand why Trump is hiding this. Doesn't, oh, there is no list. Trump mega donor, John Paulson. Epstein list. Okay. It was in one of the oh, I think I know. I remember where that was. I had to go in my history and go look it up. Um, and where that was, where I looked it up. Hold on. All right, I found it. Um, it's Thomas Massey has named billionaire John Paulson as the first figure from Epstein's Black Book for Epstein's victims. Okay. Now that's a crime to hide John Paulson from this list. Well, his buddy in the White House did it. Mega donor, mega money. So Mr. Trump's been paid off. He was bribed. That's how it works in Washington. Patel paid off. They get sold off all the time. Um, well, they Bundy, I guess her name, whatever. Start thinking of the Bundys. Um, the one in DOJ paid off, just paid for, bought and paid for, folks. That's how it works. And there's nothing anybody would actually do to try to change it. They just hoped it would go away. They hoped that people would forget about it. And just a little, I think it was 2 days ago, I was asking the wife, "Yeah, I wonder what happened to that Epstein list. What's going on over there?" All of a sudden, all this stuff starts coming out. But I would believe the women who were um, uh, raped and everything at that age. They were the victims. So here's RFK trying to stop this now. So RFK Jr.'s Maha, chief medical advisor, is preparing to announce that COVID mRNA vaccines are causing turbo cancers. Okay, remember I mentioned this before, and I said uh, 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 Donald was the one that signed the executive order to turbo this out. and throw out millions of vaccines they knew were going to murder people. Well, just fess up, dude. Yeah, I did that. He didn't fess up. What he did was he's trying to transfer it over to the pharmaceutical companies. And whatever this man is doing, okay, I see no benefit for just regular folks. I've not seen any benefit. I've seen a lot of benefit for no taxes on tips. Well, that also works for strippers too, right? No tax on tips. Gee, it wasn't all for people who serve food. Just saying. There's no tax on tips. There's no reason, for them to say, yes, I got it from this client or that client or whatever. So you just got to remember this kind of thing, man, how these guys think. So they don't care about the turbo cancers. And it's very obvious that MAGA could care less about their country. All right. I'm not for or against MAGA. I'm not for or against anything that they do because I'm out of that patriot business. I don't want nothing to do with those guys. Okay. Anybody who will ignore Yeshua and say that they're allegiant to a country over and above him, all right, is crap on my shoe. And I'm telling you, as from coming from somebody who actually did that. Okay. And I called myself crap on my own shoe. Because if you're gonna ignore him and say, "Oh yeah, I love America," and hug a flag, you just crap on anybody's shoe, man. Your first allegiance should be to him, and your only allegiance should be to him. Countries are secondary to him, to our Father in heaven, not Yeshua. Yeshua is his son, the Father in heaven. Also, they are two separate, but together. They're in the oneness. Just letting you know. All right. We've sat there, and guess what's happening now? You wouldn't believe what they're doing. Okay. They're starting to try to go to hate crimes. If you mention, okay, there's groups of Muslims are meeting with American lawmakers to sponsor bills that will expand crimes considered hate crimes like hate speech, block state authorities from cooperating with immigration officers for Muslims. They're coming over here wanting special privilege. Okay. And I'm telling you right now, Islam and Muslims is not a religion. You know how easy it is to pay off congressmen and senators. It's easy. All you gotta do, just send it to their, hey, I've got $100 million for you. I'll do whatever you want. You're my new husband. You're my new wife. Whatever. That's what they do. They just fall to their knees. Scumbags. They have been since the invention or the man invented politicians. It's a this is how hard to explain this to this is a political movement. Okay? It's a political civilization, a hadith. The leading guy in the country has been talking about this for a very long time. And people are not listening to him. All right, when it comes to Islam, you need to go look under politicalislam.com. If you want to know the truth, politicalislam.com. That's Dr. Bill Warner. He's written a lot of books, not written, but written a lot of books about it. He has a lot of um, videos. The mythology of political Islam, questions about Sharia for candidates, jihad, not terror. Okay. This is a leading expert. His health apparently is bad, but he's one of the leading experts in the country, Dr. Bill Warner. He professes to be a scientist. I hope that he would turn to Yeshua so he can have a good life afterwards. But, it is what it is. This guy here will educate you on your ignorance of Islam. Why? Okay. Muslims are not to be protected under the First Amendment, the religious part. They don't profess to be a religion. They profess to be a political organization under political Islam. People don't know this. Okay. Very ignorant. Most are very ignorant on the subject. And they're not calling out and saying, hey, you guys need to deport these people. These people are coming in to take over. They're not here to assimilate. You're not going to teach them anything about free religion and free this and free that. They are here that when they get the majority, you're done. The violence begins and they begin to take over. This is why all their countries are constantly in rubble because they kill people and they go to war. This is how they overcome things. It's been going on for 1400 years, folks. This is not me saying it, it's them saying it. So, you want to call me Islamophobe? Cool. I don't care. That doesn't bother me. I wear that as a badge of honor. Okay? You want to call me racist? Hey, they're the most racist people on earth. So, but I rebuke that because I'm not a racist. I'm saying it the way it is. This goes beyond religion. This goes beyond racism, or what they are. This goes to their political beliefs that have been professed around the world for 1400 years. Every country they've ever invaded, look at England. Every one of them that's been invaded. This is why you don't get rid of your guns, no matter what anybody says. You don't get rid of your guns. You keep your guns. Everybody knows that. England has been taken over by Islam because they got rid of their guns. And they know what a stupid idea that was. It was like 20 years ago. And then they warned like four or five. The oppression began right after they did that. Okay. And then you've got a president that's sitting there and man, I think, this is this big revelation. I think that Islam hates us. That's his revelation. So play stupid. You know exactly what they're doing. And you know exactly what's going to happen. And you're not doing anything about it. So you can't rely on these people. Just like you can't rely on, if Islam gives we know now, we know this about him. And believe me, I used to like him. I used to like Trump. I did. But I'm seeing way too much stuff here. 9 months and no arrest, dude. You're done. You're toast. Nobody believes you. Okay? You're just as bad as Pelosi or anybody else. And when you started hiding the billionaire for his pedophilia, you became a pedophile. Bondi, you're a pedophile. Okay? All you guys, head of the FBI, you're a pedophile, dude. You joined with them. You're starting to hide them because they have a lot of money. And because they have a lot of money, this tells you right now that you guys are negotiable and you're paid for. Nobody respects that. No one respects people that get paid off to not use their political authority that they were given to stop the pedophiles and to stop all this attacking children. And when you do this, this is going to be your future. Okay? This is not me saying it. This is going to be your future. Okay, now listen very closely as to what's going to happen to all those that hid the billionaires from the pedophilia. You guys are just as guilty. Just as guilty. You can't even put a new guy up there and FBI because nobody believes now. Everybody was put their faith in that new guy. But look what he did. It didn't take long, and they were already corrupted themselves and started hiding crimes. Yeshua warned that anyone who causes a child or a vulnerable believer to stumble would face a grave punishment. Okay. Now, a vulnerable believer to stumble. Okay. What that means is all the girls that are walking around scantily clad with these leggings on that you could see through, showing their butts everywhere and everything else. This also includes you. It's what's going to happen to you. He used a vivid and intense metaphor to stress the seriousness of harming the innocent. The warning is recorded in the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, and Luke. The warning is often referred to as a millstone passage. Yeshua stated that it would be better for someone to have a large millstone hung around their neck and be drowned in the sea than to cause a little one who believes in him to stumble. The millstone was a large, heavy stone, typically turned by a donkey, emphasizing the inescapable and gruesome nature of this hypothetical death compared to the eternal consequences of harming a child or vulnerable believer. Some men are vulnerable. They had porn addictions and things like that. And then you're walking around them half naked. Okay? This is your wanting for attention and bringing attention to you. This is what's going to happen to you. It's both sides. Pedophiles, this is what will happen to you. People who hide pedophiles, this is what will happen to you. This is the way it works. This warning followed a discussion with his disciples about humility. Yeshua used a child to illustrate that one of the must become like a child to enter the kingdom of heaven, and that the greatest of the kingdom are those who humble themselves like a child. The term little ones can refer to literal children and those who are vulnerable to or new in their faith. Yeshua also shared the parable of the lost sheep to show God's care for those who are vulnerable, stating that it is not God's will for any of these little ones to perish. Okay, do you understand this now? The seriousness of what's being told to you right now. Islam attacks 9-year-olds, boys and girls. They marry little girls, they marry little boys. You're hiding that. I'm not associated. I rebuke that in the name of Yeshua. I rebuke Islam in the name of Yeshua and political Islam in the name of Yeshua. You don't do that. You're harming children. This is what happens to people in political Islam that harm people that want to leave, that kill them for wanting to leave political Islam and come to Christianity or come to Yeshua. That's what happens to you forever. That's a forever punishment. So get it straight in your head. Realize how important that is. Get it worked out in your head. So if you ladies want to walk around the way you're walking around, and men are trying to get out away from pornography, and or you're bringing liquor to them, or trying to get them high again, that's what happens to you. Your punishment is 10 times worse, and it's a forever punishment. That's Yeshua. Yeshua said what was going to happen to you. Okay, so if you have in this mind, he's so loving and caring. He is loving. He protects his people. This is what happens to people that harm Christians, harm people that follow Yeshua. This is what's going to happen to you. Also, if you know what's happening and you have the resources and the ability to stop it, and you don't, this is what's going to happen to you. He also meant those that came to him as a child as new believers. You do not touch new believers. And because of the First Amendment in the Constitution, you would think that the United States would get it in their head when they're watching people that are following Yeshua dying, being attacked and chopped up. That's what's going to happen to you. So, if you attack people that follow Yeshua, you've been warned. You've been warned. What's coming down the pike for you, you've been warned. Islam doing that, you've been warned. Don't do that. Stop doing what you're doing. I don't care what Muhammad said. I don't care what any of them said. And there is no Allah. That's been shown to people of Islam when they die. Near-death experiences. Coming back, guess who they saw? They saw Yeshua. They didn't see anybody else. Yeshua was the one they talked to, not Muhammad. Muhammad's in hell because of what he did. Same thing happens to a lot of them that are high up in the Catholic Church because they don't follow Yeshua. Look at the idiot that's sitting in office now. They elected somebody who worships Mary. That's just stupid. That's a very ignorant, stupid man. He's really not even worth talking to or talking about. He's made a joke out of the Catholic Church even more than the pedophiles that everybody else got that let go, and they move from one place to another. That's why they burn, guys. This is the punishment. You anger Yeshua. Yeshua is your only chance for salvation, not the Eucharist. I witnessed against what was said today in the Catholic Church. Eucharist has no salvation. None. All right, let's just listen to it from this guy.
Prophecy alert. Pope Leo attacked the very teachings of the Bible by saying this shocking statement. This proclamation is what the book of Revelation warned us, that the Antichrist will blaspheme God and set up a counterfeit system of worship, a new Tower of Babel. The power of the papacy proclaims that the Eucharist is the source of salvation, not Jesus. Welcome, dear friends, to TIBP Media. Kindly like and share this important prophecy update. On August 25, 2025, Pope Leo XIV addressed a gathering of French altar servers in the Vatican Apostolic Palace. In his remark, he extolled the importance of the Eucharist, calling it the greatest treasure, the treasure of treasures. He also emphasized that the Church has celebrated Mass Sunday after Sunday and declared that the Sunday Eucharist, the Eucharist, will save the world, the source of salvation. The Pope was not merely speaking to Roman Catholics. The Pope was not merely speaking to Roman Catholics, but all around the world. He is seeking to save the world, and in doing so, he elevated Sunday as the universal practice necessary to bring salvation to everyone. Here are three massive attacks Pope Leo proclaimed. The Eucharist comes from God.
You know that this is a particular year. It is a holy year, which takes place only once every 25 years, during which the Lord Jesus offers us a special opportunity. And the Church, from generation to generation, carefully conserves the memory of the death and resurrection of the Lord, of whom she is witness, as her most precious treasure. She preserves and transmits it by celebrating the Eucharist. She preserves and transmits it by celebrating the Eucharist.
The papacy here wants the world to believe, both Catholics and non-Catholics, especially Protestants, that the Eucharist, the process of transubstantiation, comes from God. And it is God's way of commemorating Christ's death and resurrection. Number 2, the Eucharist is the greatest treasure, not Jesus.
The Eucharist is the treasure of the Church, the treasure of treasures. Ever since the very first day of her existence, and then throughout the centuries, the Church has celebrated Mass, Sunday after Sunday, to remember what the Lord has done for her.
Did you catch it, dear friends? You have the word Sunday and remember in one phrase, saying this is what the Lord has done, remembering Sunday. But this is just scratching the surface of this blasphemy. Leo attacks becomes very clear, exalting the Eucharist as the treasure, not Jesus Christ. Did you know, dear friends, that the Eucharist makes the priests, the Pope, the bishops, the creator of the Creator? I will prove it to you shortly. Number 3, the Eucharist is the source of the salvation of the world. The celebration of Mass saves us today. It saves the world. It is the most important event in the life of the Christian and in the life of the church, because it is the encounter in which God gives Himself to us for love again and again. The Eucharist will save you. Notice the sunburst.
No offense, but if you're paying more than $50 per month on home insurance...
Okay. So that should make my point right there. He's correct. What they're trying to do is they're trying to bring Yeshua or apart the celebration. It's really subtle and very cunning the way that they're doing that. It's very subtle, just like the serpent in the garden. He was very subtle, and they'll put those lies in there under a subtle term or way of doing it, not an outward way of doing it. Okay, just letting you know this is what is going on here. So, when it comes to the attack on Yeshua, and these attacks will be on you too. So, Yeshua says what's going to happen to these people that do attack people that are, new believers, older believers, children, attacking children physically, mentally, especially with the affinity groups. They're attacking children with the affinity group. Why are these people not in jail? Why are they not arrested? Why is it that Bondi's just sitting around doing nothing? They could have had those arrest warrants and everybody arrested very quickly. Within 90 days, it could have been done. 9 months? Give it a rest. All you guys are doing is causing your future to be in jeopardy. That's a warning to you guys. This is what Yeshua said, not me. This is what will happen to you. They're pushing the they're pushing the creation and not the creator, not the one who made it. Their only place in, okay, our Father in heaven has condemned you. The only place you can find salvation is Yeshua himself. You have to serve under him. It's that simple, guys. Thanks for listening to the Yeshua is King Ministries World News. I hope that you feel a little bit more uh, aware today, and that things need to happen. Okay, that you can go ahead and write your the citizens can write their redress of grievance with what's going on with Islam. Um, the citizens of Yeshua can write their redress of grievance to the king. There's ways to solve this problem. It doesn't have to end in violence. It just has to end in deportation. Time for them to go. It's time for them to go. They're getting there, purposely manipulating everything so they can take over. And they're doing it quietly. It's called creeping Sharia. That's what they call it. Creeping Sharia. It creeps into your life. They're trying to get rid of your salvation. These people don't know what real salvation is. They never will, unless they turn to him. Thanks for listening to the World News, and we will talk to you next time.